Hello, and this time I'm going to speak about doing the right things, and that is very important. That's very important for everything. But we are speaking about languages. What is the difference between an amateur, an advanced amateur, and a professional? We are all human beings. We have more or less the same brain, however much they say we have talents, we have more or less the same brain. More only in extreme cases there is some inborn difference, but more or less we have the same brains. What is the difference? The difference is that those who succeed have a plan, stick to the plan. They obsessively, in a maniac way, but I give a good meaning to these words, stick to the plan. They do whatever they can to do their best. They read whatever they can read. They gather all the information they can. And now we have in the internet, we have no sorry excuses. So the first thing is, do you really want to learn the language? Are you really motivated? Do you want the end or also the means? Because if your motivation is true, you will not see the means as a bad thing. You will see that as a challenge. You will do everything you want in order to achieve your goal. It's like when you really want, you're in love with somebody, you would do everything to get his or her attention, no matter what. So you don't waste time on stupid things. Wasting time is tantamount to not succeeding. And when people are not really motivated, they find every excuse, every way to do the minimum, the least possible they can. So, give an example. Shared talk, waste of time most of the time. I've been on that. People don't want to be corrected. They don't want to correct other people. They are there to socialize. Most of the time, this interaction happens through chat, means typing words with no oral, with no audio. You cannot learn English like this. Actually, you dislearn or you unlearn the language. You know what I mean? Do you know? So, watching a film most of the time is not effective. It doesn't count as effective learning. It's too much for most of English learners. Most things go over your head. The level of language is too complicated, and you will never find yourself in this situation. Many movies, their actions, freeze, all these things that are only useful if you watch the movies. Outside the movies, many of these words and idioms are outside your scope, your range. You will never find yourself in this situation in real life unless you live in America. If you live in America, in a short period of time, you will learn much more than all these movies. Learn the basics. Learn the basic. Do not make stupid mistakes. Know the sounds. Try to understand the relationship between the spelling and the sounds, or better said, between the sounds and the spelling, because you learn before. The first thing you learn is the sounds and then the spelling. Okay? This is what you gotta do. Second thing, choose. I know I shouldn't say that, but because my accent is kind of busted, but there is a reason to it. But in your case, for a decent amount of time, devote your time to learning the English you choose, which can be British English or American English. I don't have anything against British. I don't have anything against American, because it would be have something against myself, because I share both accents and varieties of English. But you didn't live in America and in England, and you probably have the chance to learn a pure form of English. In time you will have to deal also with the other form, okay, and you will understand and know the major differences between American English and British English. So stick to one and decide to learn the first form, and after a while you can add the second form as a passive ability to understand. You cannot just understand British English and not American English, and vice versa. So all these reading books that are not your level, waste of time. Watching movies that are not on your level, waste of time. Reading readers with CD that are your level, you can choose the level, there are different levels. Good practice. Listening and then trying to writing, and then checking what you've been writing. Good practice. If you have some documentaries about a subject you're interested in, and you would be watching that documentary anyway, even if it were in your language, good practice. A documentaries that has subtitles that you can read or take off, and first you take off the subtitles, you try to understand, you watch the documentary several times, and then you add subtitles. Good practice. This is good practice. Reading books, grammar books in English. Do all your CD-ROM work. If there is CD-ROM, do it. If you have Murphy and there is a CD-ROM, you can click all your answers and listen to them. Good practice. Trying reading aloud or repeating something. For example, you use Google Translator, and the accent, in spite of the fact is computerized, is quite good. You put the phrase that you want to learn, the structure, and you click and you listen to the way it is pronounced. Good practice. A downside, it's only British. The accent is British. If you are learning American English, it's your funeral. I don't know what you've got to do. I don't know, there is another Google translator with an American accent. That's it. It's a long speech. Goodbye.